Hello, Haskell friends. So when I set up the episode in YouTube, I need to fill in a description and I try and guess what I'm going to do in the evening. And I always have plans of what I'm going to get through, and inevitably I never get to the end of it. I get stuck on trying to find a function or trying to understand the type or just getting sidetracked. So the description always says something like, I'm going to look at ReaderT IO or I'm going to look at Effectful, and I never do. So this episode, I'm definitely going to look at ReaderT IO because I'm fed up of missing that one. So I want to take the application, Showtime, and I want to kind of not restructure, but structure the application in a better way. Mostly in this episode, I guess, it's so I'm not passing the settings around explicitly as an extra argument, but I'm hoping to build on that and to refine what effects each function has. So I'm going to start with ReaderT IO. In future, I plan to come back and replace it with Effectful. I'm not going to do it tonight, mostly because I don't know how to use Effectful. Partly also because I don't really know how to use it. Sorry, it's because I'm not ready for it yet. There are things I want to do with effects that will come a little bit later in this project. Mostly, I want to be able to swap out the storage, so I can either store stuff on disk or store it in a database. I'm going to try and do that with a nicer effect system to describe that better. But for today, it's just about structuring the app a little bit better and using ReaderT IO. I have used this before, but I can't really remember how to do it, so hopefully I'll work out as I go along. But the kind of rough thing is that I have a function, so let's call this, let's say we got a function called add host, and it takes something like an append and some text, which is a host name, and it runs under IO and doesn't return anything. And it's this argument to append that I want to get rid of. So I want to replace this with something called add host, and it's going to take text and it's going to run under ReaderT. Arguments here, I think it's append and then IO, and return nothing. And then, because that's a lot to type each time, I'm going to create a type called something like app. I'm just going to define that as being ReaderT append IO, and then this thing can be replaced with app. And then finally in main, in main at the minute I have something like, I can't remember what it's called, but at least some entry point which is like run thing. I'm going to return it. I'm going to replace it with a call to run ReaderT, and I'm going to give it the config, the env, and some function which will be something like handle command. I can't remember what this function is called, but I'll find out later. And actually, I'm probably not going to call it right from main. I'm probably going to create something called run application, which will do this for me. So it'll take some arguments potentially from main, and then we'll just run the whole thing. So that's kind of just an outline of the plan for tonight. I want to just sketch it out because it's quite a lot of refactoring. And it's going to take a long time, a lot of typing before I get to the point where I can actually run something again. Okay, so if I pick something like topics and start here, in fact, I'm not quite going to start topics. And also, that's the wrong one. It should be topic storage. I'm moving topic commands. It's all of these appends I'm going to get rid of. What I'll actually start with is this place, the append, and I'm going to rename this to application. I'm going to put my definition of app inside here and my run application function as well. So to do that, I need to go to Cabal first, and I'm going to rename append to application. That's okay, and that's going to upset it because it doesn't exist. So let's go here and rename it to application And is it going to be happy again? Yeah. I'll restart the LP server, see that here's it up a little bit. Yeah, okay, it's happy ish. Let's do that. And see how many more problems we get. So there should be some problems for the imports where I'm importing append into things. And I should just import application. And here, although we won't import application, well, we won't import append directly, I don't think. We can come back to that later. And here as well. Okay. So now we've got that. Inside here, I can define my new type. So I'll say app is equal to ReaderT append IO. And then I'll need to import ReaderT. What's going on my keyboard today? Oh, no, not in type. No collections available. Where does ReaderT come from? Control.monad.reader or something? No. I might just start typing reader, will it help? It does not. Okay. Let's go and ask Google where I can find this. Control monad trans reader. Wouldn't have guessed that. Okay. Here. So control monad reader. I can read that, and it's part of transformers, which is a hidden package, which is why it didn't offer to import it for me. Oh, my keyboard has gone a bit funny. I've forgotten what the version was. What's it said? Transformers 0562. What's it? 0562. A second. Okay, cool. So I can now, right, let's do that. I can now define this type of app, which is cool, and then I will also export it. And the other thing I said I was going to do was write a function called run application, and that's going to take an append for now. I might move this inside run application and hide it, but for now, I'll take an append and I will return. I think I'll just run under IO. So run application. Hopefully, I can just say run ReaderT. No. Well, maybe I should import that. Run ReaderT to list imports. Okay, and it takes three things. One more than expected. So, oh no, sorry. Given some type, so this will be my app, and some initial value, which is my append, then it should return something under there. Okay, so I think run ReaderT given the environment and no, not quite. Sorry, given something. No, run ReaderT. Type of run ReaderT is R and M, which is a monad basically, and an A, then it takes a ReaderT or a may. I thought it should be an app. And it takes an R. Oh no, this is going to be a function. Sorry, this is going to be a function I run. This is going to be the initial reader value, and it's going to return basically IO unit in this case, because the function I'm going to pass in is going to return IO unit. So I need to find the entry point for my application. And oops, this is something called, where's main gone? It was something called run, which is given a couple of arguments actually. Okay, so it's given the arguments and the config, and I'm going to replace this with just the arguments. I'm going to change the type of this to be app. I'm going to repeat my keyboard. And while we're waiting for that, reboot. Rebooting now. Problems I never expected to have, but my keyboard I think is getting too hot. It's playing up. Okay, I think it's back. If I restart the LSP server again, maybe, and actually just to check it, it's say Cabal build. It won't build because there'll be some errors, but oh, not expected. I'm not used. Why is that the error I'm getting? That's confusing. Run. So where's run going to come from? It can't come from main. So I'm going to have to move run into a new module. Oh, now that's going to become a nightmare. I'm actually going to move run application out of here. I'd get a circular import because app would need to import run, but run would need to import app. So let's not do that. So instead of run config, I'm going to say run ReaderT run config. And we go back to application. Give that unused thing. So we are exporting app from here. Which means that type should be used. Okay, cool. It's getting better. Restart LSP, so I get the error in here as well. Is it going to work? It is not working. Okay, so the error it's got here is it couldn't find module appenv, and that is in main, and I thought I'd fix that, but obviously not. And it can't save the file now because the LSP server is broken. Is there some way of save without running, without formatting? Good, that's the error I want. I cancel that action. I've never seen it, well, I haven't seen it get this upset for quite a while. Okay. Restart the LSP server again. Yeah, it's finally working again. Okay, cool. So let's import that. Let's import this. No. Why is it not offering to import that? Pretty sure it was called run ReaderT. I could do it explicitly, I guess. Oh, no, I know why it's saying that. Because if I go back to here, in the executable, it also depends on transformers. Okay, a second. Oops. Now, yes, we can now import this. Okay. So now run does not take a config, but it does take the args. So I need to say something like args is get args. And we can run passing in the arg. Now, okay. And now this is a bit broken. So if you say there are no arguments, we'll run cast. If there are arguments, we will call go, and go also needs to run their app. Okay, and now this is going to be a pain, right? Because all of these will need to be updated. I'll do cast first because this should be interesting. So cast, this is just going to run their app, and there's no argument called env, but here you can say env is gets. Oh, I forgot what it's called. It's just get actually. So, oh, no, I did not mean to define it. I wanted to add the imports. Get will come from somewhere here. I should be able to do it from this reader, I thought. Maybe it's not called get. Is it called gets? No. I don't want to import from RWS or state. I want the one that's inside reader. Let's go and have a look again. So in here we have ReaderT. In fact, it's reader in general. It should have some way of getting stuff out of the reader. Reader operations. Ask, not get, ask. Fetch the value of environment is ask, and asks calls a function on it. Okay. So not get, but ask. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, and now we've got this thing where this one's under IO, so I need to type lift IO of that. So I'm going to have to import. And again, this is going to be lift IO. Okay. This is obviously so much better than it was before. I'm hoping the payoff will come later. Right, now all of these things. So run lift. That's going to be an easy one to do because it's just here. So we don't take app env directly. We should just run this under app. We don't have env here. We should just say env is ask. Okay, and then this has to be lift IO. Or why they're all lift IO. Okay, map env. Oh, can I lift the whole thing? Would I need to lift each operation? I can lift all of that. Okay. The whole thing really runs under IO at this point. So I could maybe say lift IO do, and then take all of these, indent them, and then get rid of these. Right. That's listing. Run host is in this file. So we then call it down here. This is no longer taking app as an argument. It's just taking, sorry, it's running under app. Right. So my hope here, this is the first time it might actually be useful, just get rid of env in all of these functions, because it's not used here. It's just being passed down a level. Okay, so run as host is taking a string and running under app, and then it calls this cast storage add host with the same thing, which is get rid of that argument and runs under app, and we will import it and then add unless exists. Again, it's not going to take the app env. It's just going to run under app. So we'll just drop env by there. And already in cast, actually use environment. Use it for load cast. Oh, there's lots of this going on. And this for load host, which is s.load. No. People file path. Okay, which comes out of the environment. Right. So work backwards through these. So now this runs under app and returns a list of hosts. And load is going to be called on people file path, which needs an extra argument, which is asks. Oh, so it should be asks people file path. Now where are we? In source, we should have it. Why is it not suggesting? Okay, down here we got import that. And down here we have, sorry, I just missed it. Okay. This whole thing needs to be lifted into IO now. But does it really? Because s.load could also run the app. Export that. And then at this point, where we need to put the lift IO. That did not work. Ooh. Is that? ReaderT IO comes from here. Move brackets like that. There we go. Okay, so load now works, and then asks file path. Ah, okay. So asks people file path is not taking an argument anymore. This no longer takes append. So asks people file path should give us back the name, like the file path for the people file. This runs under the app monad. So then I can pass it into load, but we can maybe flip it around a bit. No, actually, I think that's okay. The thing we're doing is loading, so that should maybe come first. We're loading whatever people file path is inside the append, whatever gets passed in here. So here we can change this to be participant and similar thing. Okay. Where were we? We were down here. So already in cast called load cast, which was calling load host, which I think is what we just did. No? Yeah. Okay. So this is now going to be just up. It doesn't take an end. No env here. No env here. Okay. No env here. No env here. And this has to run under app. If I'd done this at the beginning, life would have been so much easier. But refactoring it, where I'm already passing env everywhere, is a bit of a pain, because then I have to remove it from everywhere. Okay, already in cast, let's make an environment. And then this s.add running under IO, but actually we can run it under app, and then we can just lift this one. Lift IO of that. Okay, and s.add, we just say asks people file path. Right. I might need to store another variable thing. So we can say path is asks people file path. And then just path there. Okay. So now add participant as well as add host. We can just change this to be app. Add host is okay. Okay. Back to main. I've done this one. Run remove host. Okay, similar things. We don't pass append in here. We just do that, and inside here again, we'll run under app, and we will say path is asks people file path, and then we use it here. Here's that. And then remove also under app, and And here we just did lift IOs. Okay, so removing a host should work. And listing the host, once again, we get rid of this, which uses the app. There, we get rid of env here. We need to lift IO to printing, load hosts. Oh, it runs under app. So this, I can't be as clever because it's touch slightly different. So the type of this is some results. I think it's hosts. Running under app. But this is of type IO unit in this case. An app is not the same as IO. So I actually need to say host comes from there. Oops. And then we lift IO, print M, and then host. Okay, not quite as tidy. It's not one line, but I can live with that. Okay, how far did we get? So that was run host, and that's now all good, I think. Yep. And run participants is just going to be the same thing. Some of them will already be done. The run participants is going to run under app. We can get rid of the M. And we can get rid of all of the M's actually. I'm just going to fix those functions up. Okay, run add participant. Down here. So this will run under app. Oh, must have fixed that previously, I guess. Run remove participant. So on this one, I also need to run this under app. And then we get rid of M. And then we have, so we'll say path comes from asks people file path. And here we will just use path. You change the type up here. Okay. Go back. What's the shortcut? Alt left arrow. Okay. So we can remove participants now, and then listing participants. We're going to run under app, and we don't take an env, and load participants shouldn't take an env either. We do the same thing here of storing this, so we can run it under a different type. So it'll be participants comes from that, and then we will run lift IO mapm print participants. Okay, that's run participants done. Run list is actually broken. Oh, because we don't pass the env in there anymore. Which means we need to ask the environment. But load cast is fine. What's its problem here? Expected IO host participant. And I got that. Ah, okay. I can't lift that one because it's no longer doing IO. It's doing app stuff, and only these are doing the IO. Okay. Topic commands run. So this is one I put in its own file. Now, instead of being app-env, this needs to be app, running under app. Let me get rid of these. We'll import app, so it knows what's going on. And then we'll just remove n from all of these and fix them up. Okay. Run add. Run under app. And it should do that and store to add. Okay, and this also needs to run under app. And there's no env here. So we can say path comes from there. Path comes from file path. And here this is path. And I need to import app. Okay. And it's not that, it actually asks. Okay, it also needs to import down here. Okay. While I'm here, I'll just fix these up because I'll have to come to them at some point. So remove will also run under app. It won't take an argument of env. And we will say this. That and pass. And finally list the arguments. So how did this one work? S.load, type of that is app. So I should be able to say this. Okay. Not that. Try again. Okay, I've lost my place. I was in here. So run add, run remove, so on. Why even bother having these functions? Like, why don't I just call storage to add here? I don't think there's any reason for it. They don't do anything. Whereas run list does. Okay, what we do here. So we call storage list. Let's do that. And then put string we need to lift into IO. We need to import. Okay, we'll fix this one up. Okay, I think that's all of those done. So back to main. That looks good. What's my error? So in here, okay, I've changed the way loadcast works slightly. So we don't lift IO this anymore. And we don't pass nvin. Get rid of that? Not quite. Where's participant count? Okay, that's just an asks. So I could write that as participant count is asks participant count, which I would then need to import. And then this one I can just replace with participant count, but it's a bit of a name clash. Not great. Sorry, just give it some errors here. I'm trying to think of a better name for this. Maybe just call this count. Not. So here and here. Okay, 0 errors. So back inside main, we get our config, we get our argument list, and then we just run ReaderT on that. Okay, and I could think do that. No, I can't, because the type of this should be okay. Why can I not do load config? Don't know why. Must typo or something. Okay. We get our argument we call run with those arguments, and we run the whole thing under a reader, passing in the config. Cool. Does it work? It compiles. That's a good start. These are list topics. New topic is where I wish I had some automated testing. Okay, works for topics like host list. I've moved people file around. Where did I move it to? What was my data directory? It was home.showtime data. Look at people here. This one with some data in it, so I can remove that file, and I can move people. Oh, that shortcut doesn't work in here. Showtime data. Now if I go back and try listing the hosts again, we now have some people right inside there. So host lists and host. 50, why not? Oh, that doesn't work because they're a participant, I think. Participants list. Yeah, I need to fix that. So we can promote people to hosts, but it's not people now. Okay. Oh, and like, does it work with arguments? So does it pick a cast? Yep, it does. Okay, cool. So I don't think AppEnv is used very much more. That's my hope. So let's start from the beginning. In application, it's defined and exported. That makes sense. In main, it should be imported because it needs to. Oh, it's not really imported actually. It's only participant count is imported from there. In commands, it's not used anymore. I think it's good. Probably better doing this. Git grep or append. Okay, so main uses it. The storage file uses it to get the people file path out, and the topic storage uses it to get the topics file path out. Cool. Okay. So I did all this stuff. And this is introduce ReaderT IO. No longer pass append around. All functions under the new app type, which is alias for what was it, ReaderT append IO. I'm not sure why I put that in the description because you can see that from the code. But anyway, done now. Okay, I might do a little tiny bit more refactoring because there's only 10 minutes left or so. So this cast and cast storage, I want to make it look more like the topics. I'll actually just import that thing. Okay, so commands is under here. I should be able to say source cast commands. Okay, that did not work. Oh, could I have a file called cast? Shouldn't matter though. Time source cast. Oh, because this is matching, it's always selecting the first argument here. Let's do that. Okay, so this thing, source cast HS, I can rename to, no, let's do it this way. Oh, no. I can drag and drop. Amazing. Okay. So this should now be module cast.cast. They have different topics actually. They have topics. Yep. Cast.cast, and then this should be cast.storage. And then is that all okay? And then we go back to here. We should be able to import qualified. Import qualified cast.commands as cast commands. Except we don't have that file yet. Okay, that's what I wanted to do originally. Keep doing that. No, not that one either. There we go. So we go to source cast, and then I can do commands, and it should be module cast.commands, where I'll go back to the second, and then nope, we go to Cabal. Up here we should have, might do them up here, we'll have cast.cast, cast.storage, I'll rename that. And we'll have cast.command as well. Okay, so cast storage, I will rename. And rename to just storage. Okay. We will import cast.cast. Next error. Restart LSP. No, it's not happy. Okay. That's the only error we have. Could be more broken than that. Expected cast or expected cast.cast and saw cast. I've done that one. Did I not save the file? Okay, cool. Let's get some errors now. So restart LSP. Maybe. Yep. You can say qualified cast. Well, we can see what that's used. Here. Cast. And that line. Okay, next error. So we're using this. All of these are going to be lifted out into the command file. So this should be something like cast commands run hosts, I guess. Makes sense, doesn't it? Because there are a couple of different things we can do with the cast. And run list. What does that actually list? Why does it even exist? I'm going to get rid of that. Because it's listing everything, but not really everything, because it's only listing the cast. Okay, so run host, and all of this stuff should move out. And I'll drop it into commands. Right in there. And we're going to export run hosts and run participants. Now let's import some stuff. Okay, not going to be cast storage, but we should be able to import it in the other commands. We import it qualified as storage. Qualified storage as storage. It's not storage, it's actually cast. Okay, and then it stores add host, but again, I can just add them up here, I think. I don't need this function. And this should be storage remove host. This one's more involved. So storage load host, and we'll import ReaderT IO. And participants will do the same thing. So storage.add participant, storage.remove participant, get rid of these, and this one becomes storage. Okay. Next error. Oh. Disappointed. Okay, so importing that. We're still importing load cast because down here we have this function which I'll tackle next week, I think, which is a random picker. Okay. Our main's a bit shorter now. We get our arguments. We call run under this this app type, and then we stop passing environment around explicitly. If we want something from the environment, we call asks on it. So yeah, I think that's probably it. That's all I plan on doing today. Cool. So next week I'll go back to topics, and what I want to do, I think, is this thing. It's kind of called cast, but actually it's planning an episode. I'm going to take this and get it to choose some random topics as well, or suggest some random topics. And then we'll maybe look at storing the planned episode so that we can then modify it. And then eventually, I guess, close it off, and that will delete the topic and everything. Cool. Okay, so thanks for watching along. I hope it wasn't too dull with me just renaming all the stuff, but it was kind of interesting to put in place. I'm hoping it pays off later. Maybe it won't. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully see you next week, and we'll go back to adding more functionality to the application. Cool. See you then, hopefully. Bye.